So the bridge and how did you know to like reach out into the community, sort of build like it's not only a sound bridge, but it's a bridge between the museum and the city. It's sort of this interstitial space. Like how did that all come together?
No, actually, it was also at that time somehow clear that this bridge was somehow really dividing the museum from the city. And I think what we got very interested from the very beginning was somehow to make a kind of a connection. But at the same time, we have been just starting out really to work deeply in kind of transforming in real time some kind of urban sound in that type of way, traffic sound. So it looked for us perfect to do an investigation and try to work something out. And actually also the shape of the bridge, like we just heard today after tuning it again, it really almost has like this cathedral thing. It has kind of this huge ceiling, huge volumina, yeah, which can pick up something like this.
It's like found Gothic cathedral space underneath a place that people didn't used to go there, right? They would avoid that because the road noise was unpleasant, and when cars go through, they would be amplified by the bridge, and so it was really a forlorn place. So the idea of, I think what we were thinking of was go to the darkest spot and make the brightest light. So sonically, of course. And this was really like a zone no one wanted, a barrier between the two. So how to turn that barrier into a feature, into a sort of a harmonic gateway or a harmonic cathedral. So when you pass through, your perceptions are altered a bit. You start to hear your environment musically, and then there you are at the museum.
Just a few years ago, it's been changed. I mean, you now have this presence where it's also available on the internet, real time video. I mean, you can just sort of anywhere in the world sort of punch in and experience this artwork. I mean, how did you come up with that? I mean, it's sort of...
The idea on those was because what Bruce just described is the kind of how it physically and also aesthetically works in a way. But I think more and more we got really into in our work. We are talking about the culture. This is a cultural thing, all this type of noises and sounds we are producing. And we really tried to, normally you have all these kind of filters in your brain, in your head, and you neglect this, you don't hear all these kind of things that are going on around you. But through offering you a kind of an order, what we called a harmony, means that also your brain can process this sound in a different way, and actually maybe you start to put attention to these kind of things that are going around you. Because our creator more and more becomes that we don't understand our culture as long as we don't understand the noise we are making. And this is normally considered as noise.
This is the voice of North Adams,
Heard
around the world.
Yes.
It is. If you think about it the way, if we go in the direction that Sam is going now, the philosophical aspects of the piece, what are you hearing when you hear harmonic bridge? You're hearing all the power that's being used in the nearby and sometimes far field, all the fossil fueled power that's being used to drive the economy, to get people from the place that they are to the place they want to be. And if they're driving a big truck, it's making a big sound, and you can tell they're using X amount of energy. You can tell the speed at which their desires are propelling them past these tubes. You can tell whether they have a tire that's out of alignment, or whether their brakes are missing, or whether there's a bunch of school kids walking across the bridge eating their lunch. So all the power represented by the vibrations is telling a true story of all the power that's being used right now at the bridge. And people can hear that from all over the world, you're right. And that's lovely. That's a lovely thing. It's turned into, all that power is turned into a harmonic series, so now you can start to hear it as music in a way. It goes over to a different part of your brain. Thank you. We're really happy that the piece is here and that it lives here and that you consider it living.
Let's do this again in 18 years. What do you say?
I'd say that's a great, over beers next time.
All right.